Greetings, everyone. This is Instructor Mustafa coming from MedJ International Services, located right here in the District of Columbia. I want to talk to you today about something that's very, very important. And this topic is decisions versus consequences. Let me reiterate. Decisions versus consequences. In 2024, going into 2025, if you just look at the decisions that have been made from the whole group, everybody, all cultures, all religions, all everybody, look at the decisions that they made, even the political thing that's going on right now. We got an election coming up in a couple of days. Look at the decisions that they're making about you, how they're going to govern you. Look at the decision that you're making when it comes to someone else. Look at the decisions made when things are coming directly to you. Look how people are making their decisions, and they are at all thinking about the consequences of their actions. Because there's always consequences, because for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So when you do something to someone, when you do something to something, there's consequences for it. Now, some of these consequences are dire consequences because you may die for what you did to someone else or something that you did damage to. You have to really be cognizant of your approach to people, and you have to take your time, pump the brakes, analyze the situation, make a good decision on what information that you have. Then you do it. Think about it first. Now, if you have thought about it and it's still negative, and you know you could revert or change that mindset by doing something else positive, then you have to go right ahead. But you got to remember there's consequences for your actions. Things happen to people all the time because of their actions. How they do things to people, what they do to people, where they do it to them at, when they do it to them, how they're doing it to them. There's consequences all the time, all of the time. We have to make better consequences. As a gunfighter, as a firearm instructor, as a instructor on self-defense and magnitude of a whole lot of other things, I have to make good decisions, because if I provide someone with training and I make this decision right here, I think you should do this, you should do that, here this is, and here that is, right here. That's the decision that I made. But there's consequences after, because if it doesn't go right, if what I said was incorrect and they did what they did because I said what was incorrect, even though I'm thinking that is correct, because this is my training, this is what I'm trying to do, there's consequences, and they may not never come back to me again because they don't like the decision I made in their life or for their community or for their training or for their situation, regardless of whatever it is. They didn't like it. So what I'm saying to you is that, be careful your decisions that you make. In relationships, be careful of your decisions. Ladies, be careful. Women, be careful. Girls, be careful. Men, be careful. Boys, be careful of the decisions that you make, because they have consequences to them. You can't escape the consequences. You may fly by for a minute or two, and you may get away with the first thing that you did. But the next thing is you may get those consequences. And then that was missed for you. It's coming back to you now. Because when you open up the door, everything comes in. Listen. Be aware of your decisions. Make good decisions with your life, with your situation, with people. Be better. Do better. Because, the energy is so negative in the universe right now, is that you can get caught up in something. And don't let anyone else dictate decisions to you. Don't let someone else that you know that you may trust, or you think that's your girl, you think this is your boy, this, whatever it is, and they giving you bad intel. And then instead of you looking at the totality of that information, but you just go with it. You don't do no research. You don't try to find out no intel. You just go ahead and react. Now, once you react, and you may react bad, now you got consequences to deal with. Maybe jail. You may be dead. You may lose your house. You may lose your money. You may lose your property. Make good decisions. So when those consequences come, they're good consequences for you because you know you made the right decision. You try to do everything in your divine power to do good. When you're defending yourself, another thing, when you're defending yourself, consequences. If someone attacks you or someone is arguing with you, you lose your mind. Your ego takes over. You shoot them. They didn't even have a gun. They just said what they was going to do. Or they called you a name. They called you out your name. What you do? You let your ego take over and say, oh, you can't call me that. You can't do this. You can't do that. I got a gun. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. You threatening them now. You're threatening them. And then you shoot them because you had a gun and they didn't have a gun. But they were threatening you, calling you out your name. They didn't say they was going to kill you. They didn't say they was going to beat you up. They didn't say they was going to rob you. They didn't say any of those things. All they just called you out your name. Decision was, first thing is, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to stab you. I'm going to hit you with a blunt force object. I'm going to poison you. I'm going to do all kind of stuff to you. Decisions. Pump the brakes. Relax. Stay within yourself. Make good decisions because you make a decision that can change your life forever. Or take your life. Then now you got to wait till you come back the next time. 100 years from now. Don't do that. Make good decisions. And if you can, give good information to people so they can make better decisions. Because those consequences are tight. They're rough. They're bad. It could be bad on you. It could be bad on your family. Because it may not just be you. It may be the entire group that you made a decision that has affected the entire group or the entire family. Because you made a decision. That was a bad decision. And you know it was a bad decision when you thought about the decision. It started here. Y'all had a talk with yourself between your brain and yourself and your spirit saying that's not a good decision. And you just say, man, the hell with that. I'm going to do this because I'm mad or because I'm going to get back time or because I'm emotionally disturbed or emotionally unintelligent. Stay emotionally tight. Don't let things fluster you. Don't let things get you out of your mind. Stay in the realm that you're in. Make sure those consequences are positive consequences. Make sure those decisions are positive decisions. Think about what I'm saying. Decisions versus consequences. Learn to de-escalate. Learn to bring it down. Learn to bring yourself down before you make a bad decision for yourself. I'm trying to give you some life-saving information. I'm in the life-saving business. I may not be saving someone's life physically right now, but I'm trying to save someone's life from the words that's coming out of my mouth. Remember, stay ready so you don't have to get ready.